Yo, what's good folks? It's KnightmareFrame here with a new Warframe video. Oh mama, Wukong just got reworked yesterday. The update just dropped out of nowhere and I must say, this is one of the best, if not the best, rework. But there is one downside to this rework. They have completely changed how this Warframe functions entirely. They kept some aspects alive, but what makes this rework good is that he doesn't feel like a bland Warframe anymore. He has got a lot more going on for him now. I did stream the rework when it launched and tested it out in an endurance run, and he isn't as immortal as he was before. Yes, I was disappointed as well, but there is always a way to fix that. But first, let's talk about his abilities. His first ability, Celestial Twin. This ability is quite fun and unique, but it's not something that you should depend on a lot if you're doing endurance runs. So this basically creates a clone of Wukong to fight alongside you. His health will scale off of power and health. So if you want an all-rounder build, you're going to have to sacrifice some things. You can press 1 on a target and it will mark that target for your clone to attack. The clone will have a 200% damage multiplier when attacking the marked target, so give him a powerful weapon and he will destroy things. You can also de-summon him by holding down your 1. Every time you use a ranged weapon, he will swap to melee. And only time he will use a melee alongside you is when you cast your 4th ability. He will proceed to do the same, but the unfortunate part is that your clone is very squishy. His second ability, Cloudwalker.
Wait, hold up. Wasn't his second ability, Defy?
Yeah, it was, but they did a switcheroo. Cloudwalker is nothing like how you remember it.
Does he transform into clouds and go invisible?
Well, okay, almost like how you remember it. But now he moves 10 times faster. You can literally zoom across the map, stunning enemies as you pass through them. It will heal you and your twin depending on the distance you've traveled. Its base stun radius is 8 meters, so you really need to be in the thick of it, but it can be increased with range mods. Another great thing about Cloudwalker is that it can also cleanse you of status effects. You can also mark targets for your twin to attack, and once you exit Cloudwalker, your twin will port near to your location and immediately lunge at the target. Shooting while in Cloudwalker will take you out of it. Great ability to close gaps, engage enemies, and disengage to heal and reposition yourself. His third ability, Defy. This ain't the Defy you're used to, ladies and gentlemen. Both Wukong and his twin become invulnerable. While invulnerable, both of you taunt enemies to attack you, absorbing each attack the enemies deal to you, and once you've stored up enough damage, you will unleash it back to your foes with explosive force, knocking them back and dealing a lot of damage. In return, you will get an armor buff, but unfortunately, it is capped at 1,500 armor. You and your twin both share this armor buff. The armor will last depending on your duration. You can recast the ability once again to detonate it prematurely. The downside to this ability is that you move very slow, and even slower with an Arctic Eximus. With the twin active, the damage absorbed counts as 1. He is just there to give you more range. And by far my most favorite thing about this rework is that they buffed his Iron Staff, increasing its status chance, and they replaced the Puncture with Slash. Damn, it's now insanely powerful, especially using it with Condition Overload. This is pretty much his exalted weapon. It can be modded separately. It is a channeling ability like all other exalted weapons. I thought they would make it like Baruch Serene Storm, but I'm glad they did not. Alright, with the rework, Wukong got a new passive. A passive with 5 possible survival techniques. So every time Wukong dies, he defies death and will grant him a unique ability that lasts for a certain duration. Number 1, Primal Force. Triples his elemental damage for 60 seconds. Heavenly Cloak will give you invisibility for 30 seconds. Cosmic Armor grants you invulnerability for 30 seconds, almost like his former Defy. Monkey Luck basically gives you the ability to become Necros and gain extra loot from enemies you kill. And finally, Sly Alchemy. Energy and health orbs become 4 times more effective for 60 seconds. The last two are really not that effective in my opinion. You can only defy death 3 times in a mission and gain one of these buffs once. After that, you no longer have the luxury of being careless, because 3 strikes and you're literally dead this time. I know you'll want to see the build, so without any further ado, let's go. If you take a look at the left and see the stats, this build has no negatives, a balanced all-rounder build. Alright, the aura is Steel Charge for the increased melee damage and mod capacity. Handspring in the Exilus slot, trust me, he needs this. 160% knockdown recovery is always loved by melee warframes. Primed continuity for a nice chunk of duration, perfect for Cloudwalker's travel distance as it's based off duration, and great to gather as many enemies as possible for your defy. Primed flow and streamline for the energy pool and efficiency that lets you use all his abilities with ease. And to make it even better, Hunter Adrenaline is there to convert 45% of your health damage into energy. In higher level missions, you won't run into any energy problems. Umbral Intensify and Vitality gives you that nice boost to your health and power strength. Adaptation with a large amount of health and armor will give you some nice damage reduction. And finally, the last slot can be whatever you want. You can replace it with an augment, more health, more armor, or power strength. And since I want to make him even more immortal, I use Quick Thinking, because once you use up your 3 passive buffs, this mod will drain energy with 240% efficiency when you take a lethal hit, instead of letting you die. And with a nice amount of armor and energy you have, it will reduce the drain even more. And when you see that Quick Thinking has procced, you can immediately use your second ability to heal up. Arcane Strike to increase the attack speed of my Iron Staff, and Arcane Guardian for 600 more armor when taking damage. Let's move to the Iron Staff. A very straightforward melee build. Unfortunately, Acolyte mods do not work on exalted weapons, so you cannot use Blood Rush. So I'm using Sacrificial Steel instead to increase my critical chance. Berserker for the attack speed increase. As for the elements, I have a viral build. Why viral? Because of the nice amount of slash you get with the weapon, and with Condition Overload, the damage will scale. And it will scale even better when you use Zakti. And finally, Drifting Contact for the combo duration, and even more status chance. And here we have my Zakti, built for Corrosive, Blast, and Gas. It staggers, knocks down, and strips armor. And Condition Overload goes crazy with all these status effects. A lot of elements, multi-shot, and that's all you need with Zakti. You can replace the Riven with Magnum Force to decrease the accuracy, and if you want, increase the damage. Why decreasing the accuracy? Because you want the pellets to spread even more. This is perfect when you're fighting large groups of enemies. Alright, this is my new Wukong build. I am sure a lot of other content creators will build him differently for interesting and fun builds. But this is what I have for you guys. I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, share, and
subscribe.
For more Warframe content, do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.
I don't love you, boy. I wanna shoot to the world that you're the bad one.